Chapter number 2, setting the context and content. Have you ever been in a speech, presentation, or a conversation where you start to ask yourself, hey, hang on a minute, where is the speaker leading me to? How is this relevant to me, my work, my life? What do you want me to do with this entire information? And this is how a lot of audiences feel like when speakers and presenters do not set a context and hence define a content for their audiences to step into. I'd like you to imagine that setting a context is really like setting a rectangular frame. This rectangular frame has boundaries, its parameters, it has descriptives, it has a reason, it's a story. It's basically to guide you to say, hey, come on in. This is relevant for you. This is about you, and I want you to go and walk with me. I'm going to reach out my hands to you, and I'm going to walk you into this frame. And once you're into this frame with me, I am then going to share with you the content that's important to you. And this is my fundamental belief as a public speaking coach, because a lot of speakers and presenters these days, with all due respect and great intentions, they start off their speech by saying, hi, I'm going to speak about this and that and that and that. But they do not pause to ask themselves, one, are my audience really interested in what I'm going to say? And two, if they're not really interested as yet, how do I make them really, really interested in what I'm going to share? And setting a context is really like what I mentioned, creating a strong enough reason for people to say, hey, I need to take away my BlackBerry, my iPhone, my laptop, my iPad to say, hey, this is important. I need to listen in, I need to tune in, I need to invest my attention, my energy down here. And only when you get the listening with a great context set, do you then deliver the content. I don't know about you, but it's like giving a piece of yourself. If you've ever been in love with a great relationship, on your first date, everyone is still testing themselves out, everyone is still testing the waters. You do not say, or you do not give the best parts of yourself to someone first. You do not say, I marry you until you say, I love you. You do not say, I love you until I date you. So in the same way, a presentation, you have so much of your dearest, your gems, your content to share with an audience. But you can only give it to them once you know that they are into you, emotionally, mentally, as well as spiritually. So this is what you can do to set great context and, of course, design better content. The first part of context setting is really asking yourself and putting yourself in your audience's shoe, asking themselves a series of questions. For example, why are they there? What will keep them there? What are some of their biggest pains and pleasure that they may be going after in their jobs, in their life? Pain in terms of what are they trying to avoid, pleasure in terms of what they're going. And this forms a series of pre-event interview questions contained in my book, INSPIRIT, where I have a total of about 20 over questions which you can ask event organizers or even interview participants before they go for your entire presentation or an engagement. By asking the right questions, you are then geared up to the right answers. By asking the right questions, then you know inherently what are people most concerned about. So one, have the great habit of having a list of pre-interview or pre-event interview questions where you're interviewing them, finding out what brought them to this engagement, what brought them to this stadium, auditorium, and what are they really wanting to find out from you as a speaker. Second thing, you need to always come with a spirit of openness. There is nothing as repugnant, as distracting, as very repelling as a speaker who goes on there assuming that he's going to be liked, he's going to be loved. Most importantly, you need to be there open and to say, hey, I am here just to give a piece of my message. So when you're open, you can then allow your audience's narratives to shape a piece and a part of your entire narrative. So this is what I mean by really being open. So for example, if you have a set direction, but you have an audience who say, hey, Ben, or whatever your name is, I'd like to find out a bit more about this and that. And if it's relevant, see how you can blend in all these additional narratives. So having a spirit of openness and being accepting to work with your audiences in a state of flow would then guide them to a context that everyone wants to walk to. So these are your two tips. First, have a list of pre-interview or pre-event interview questions. And two, have a spirit of openness to willingly embrace the fears, the perceptions, the intentions of your audience. So you design a context before you start off your main speech and presentation such that everyone wants to listen on with you. I hope you've gained a tip or two about public speaking or presenting in public through this video series. If you're looking for more tips, strategies, framework, checklists, don't forget to check out my book, or if you want more resources on public speaking, or even to find out what it takes to work with me, click on the link below and you'll find out all the information you need right here, right now.